Welcome back, welcome back. Ugh. Pardon me. Shout out to the wolves, salute to the ninjas. So, we're about to take a little trip onto this woman's video. Let her do a little talking about dating and her experience, so maybe some eligible men can understand that there are some decent women out there that are pretty. Now, I ain't watch all her videos, so I don't know if she's gonna say anything crazy. And that's the beauty of all of this. Right now, I'm going to the store, so you know. Now, I want to take these at least 2 minutes out of these 24 minutes to say, um, I think Kevin Samuels is right about certain things about black women not understanding the mentality and how hard it is to shift back into a relationship mode, or if you really don't have any experience how you're a child in relationships, then it doesn't matter how old you are, how much money you are, have made or whatever. When you get in a relationship, you're a baby, so you're sound the horns, you're gonna do things. So the men that you want that are mature and secure and mature and all these things, they don't have to endure. They're not. Not all of them are not taking none of that, because you're a danger to them. You don't have any experience. You can crack at any moment. You can give up at any moment. You can go back to what you want to do at any moment.
Of rejection mixed with loneliness, mixed with being unemployed for 4 months, mixed with being single for 4 years, mixed with taking stock of where I've been and where I'm going. Yeah. First off, I would like to say that I am a person who thinks about how I'm single a lot. I think about it all the time. And I know how I feel about it. I don't like it. It's funny because I'm 32. I was talking to another one of my 30-something-year-old friends. She's a little older than me. And I said something about when I have kids. And she was like, "You want kids?" And I realized in that moment it was because she thought that since I was in my 30s and not dating anyone and hadn't been dating anyone in the 4 years that she had known me, that just kids just weren't on my radar. And I was like, yeah, I want kids. I don't know if I'm going to be able to carry them by the time that they're available to me, but
That's the danger of waiting to your 30s. Because in your 30s is when it starts to make it where you're not able, you start losing the eggs. By 35, it's really getting, you're basically done. By 40, you're usually 80% done. So this is why when men say you're 25 and you're in your prime, you need to be, that's when you should have been. You get it? You're not a baby at 25, biologically. I'll trust that you don't obviously know what you're doing, but because of that window, no matter what man you want, the responsible and all that, they only have a 5-year window to make sure you're the one. In a sea of men being destroyed by women.
I would like to have kids, which brings me back to like, why am I single? I was having another conversation with another one of my friends, and she said that she's been going on dates, but everybody that she's been going on dates with has been giving her the ick. It's funny because when she's on dates, she'll like text us like, "Oh no, this isn't gonna work out," or she'll send us things that they've sent her. And sometimes it's like petty. In fact, anytime you get the ick, it might be a little petty. In fact, I made a whole video that people did not watch. I don't know why people didn't watch it. I put a lot of work into that. I did research on that and everything. I have script.
It's always the videos they don't watch.
Screenshots. I thought it was really funny. So check that out if it pleases you. We talk about the icks that people experience, and I'm going to tell you right now, that's not my problem. My problem is not that I get the ick. My problem is I don't even get the date. I don't get there. And I'm going to explain what I mean, because I'm sure the first thing that you probably thought when I said that was, "But you're so pretty." First off, thank you. I also think I'm pretty, but two things can be true. I guess I should tell you a little bit about my dating history. I have dated a total of 2 people in my adult life. I dated one for, I'm going to say 18 months and the other for maybe 8 months. So I have around 2 years total dating experience.
I mean, that's good on the numbers with men, you know, because it makes your body count seem low. But you know, we that just means you had two serious boyfriends. We don't, you know, so that's where it gets dangerous. And we're like, wait up, you only had two boyfriends. You're 33 years old. I'm sure you had a friend or two, and you know, and we you know, some won't judge for that. But it's the 33 years of being single, refining your brain to a single way of thinking, a single way of living, and that's a danger to men that preparing to have a family.
In my entire 32 years of life. And I got my first boyfriend when I was 25 years old. All of this did not feel like it was by choice. And I
Imagine that. Back in the day, that would have been her husband, and she wouldn't be going through this. But now, yous get boyfriends.
I'll get into that. I gotta stop looking at myself while I'm recording because I'm trying to make sure my hair looks great, and I'm also trying to make sure none of these fucking candles is lighting anything on fire back here. In one of these videos, everybody was like, "Oh my god, that candle's too close to those blinds. I'm so worried that they're gonna burn or catch on fire." They did. They definitely did. Thank you for telling me. I wish I had known that while it was happening, but that's what I keep looking at. Look, it's not.
If you had a man, he would have been told you about that.
Out of vanity. Just trying to make sure ain't nothing catching on fire back here, okay? Because I light a bunch of candles for these things. And if you're wondering why, it's for the ambiance. Duh. But just
Plus they
a
smell
brief
good.
overview of my dating history. Because my dating history is so brief, like literally, my dating history is literally nothing. I feel like it would be more beneficial to let you know about the history of interest that I had, because that's more robust. I would say for every year of my life, I have had at least one major crush on somebody. There was maybe 1 year of my life where I didn't like anybody. It was like a couple years ago. I'm gonna say it was 2020. Yeah, it had to be 2020. I had just broken up with my last boyfriend, and there was nobody. Bitch, there was nobody here. We were in quarantine. I wasn't going into work. But instead of starting from the beginning, I'm gonna actually start from the now. I have an interest in somebody. This person is unavailable. They showed interest in me last year. I'm not gonna lie, it was in a very weird way, and I was not prepared. I was trying to hook them up with my friend, and out of the blue, they showed interest in me instead. And before I could think about whether or not I was interested or not, they had a girlfriend. I don't know. And then nobody else really came along to take my interest away from that person.
As you get older, you don't hold the leverage anymore. Because the men that you're going to choose as old as you want the ones that are doing good. The ones that are doing good can choose any woman they want. Every woman can see them doing good. So as soon as you waste time, as soon as you do little girl things and you're 33 years old, we move on. They move on. Because they're like, oh God, she don't even know how to fucking, let me move on. You get it? This is why Kevin and multiple men online say, yous are not looking at this from a psychological standpoint. Yous want men that are all these things that you're not even ready for or know how to even, yous are not even like training. You're not looking up things. You're not nothing. You're sitting around just talking about I'm good.
Prior to that person, I liked someone else. This individual was Asian and told me that he was not interested in black women. And I was just like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do about that. Prior to that, there was another person. I don't want to give too many details, honestly, because I don't know who's going to watch this. To be honest, I could honestly spill my guts right here in front of you. But something in the back of my brain is saying, hold back just a little. But I did like someone else. I'm just gonna say that they
That's
were
smart.
a bartender. They were also coupled. I liked them for maybe a year, 2 years, between it 1 and 2 years. And prior to that was that year where I liked nobody. And then prior to that, I don't know if I'm gonna leave this in here because my mother, nobody in my family knows this, but I'm bi and I liked a girl. I like men 70%, women 30%. Most of my interest in women is physical. I've never dated a woman. Prior to that, I was in that relationship with the guy that I wasn't really interested in. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't.
You limited your options even more because although most men will have sex with a woman like that, most men's security to believe the woman's gonna stay with them is not really secure. So they're always gonna think if a baddie comes along, she's just gonna steal my girl.
Really like him like that. I liked that he was intelligent. He was very handsome, but the chemistry was just not there. Prior to that, I was in a relationship with someone who used to choke me and throw me around the room. I didn't really like him either. I was with him because he was paying half my rent. It's so funny. I don't even know if I'm going to get into it.
I hope you ladies are paying attention. I've been saying this shit for a long time. Men have been saying this for a long time. It only gets worse. The longer you play tough guy, the longer you stay unprotected, the worse it gets.
Because I know a lot of people aren't into astrology. All I'm going to say is if you look up Venus in Virgo, that's me to a T. So having a partner who is financially stable is really important to me. It's actually a requirement. I think I could be with
There's nothing wrong with that. That's what every woman wants.
the most perfect person in the world. But if that fucker ain't got a job, you gotta go. And it's not even about me being taken care of. It's not about somebody spending money on me. But I can't be somebody's sugar mama. And in my most recent relationship, that's what happened. And I made a video about that too, about the guy that I dated that was 7 years younger than me. And I said the biggest difference was not in our age, it was in our bank account. And
Oh, is that why older men say you can't fuck with me because I'll go down to the younger version of you and you'll go down to the younger version of me and you're not gonna want him. He's just gonna.
And that's because that's what's important to me. That's like a requirement. It's not even one of those things where it's like I can work around it. I can't be with.
So, if this is not literally defining why women should be married at 25, I don't know what would. I really, really don't. I don't know why you fight against my father's book, but use it as a defense. But I do. I don't want to blame you on that. But really, you's got to start really realizing when you pass these thresholds. This is why a lot of men online say you're going to have to level down. Not meaning you don't get a provider or a man that at least holds a job, but all of that, the man you want, like Kevin said and many other men, the men you want, he gets to find another woman that has exactly what you have, younger, and she does know the things. She's been ready. You know, she's been in a relationship. She didn't, whatever. This is what you don't understand. You really act like there's not 1,000 billion women everywhere. You are playing against yourselves. You're not playing against men. Men have the advantage because of these things.
Someone who is draining resources from me because, bitch, it's hard enough for me to figure shit out for myself. I can't be figuring shit out for the both of us. But yeah, so there's the guy that was choking me. Prior to him, I really liked this guy. I really thought he was great. He went to a school that was close to my house. I was like 24. You're gonna think this is really sad, but I liked him for a year, and he was also in a relationship, and I waited that shit out because that's how much I liked him. I waited it out because I thought that he was worth it. He also approached me very weird. I didn't know what was going on. I'm gonna say this because it's happened a few times where a guy will approach me in a way without verbalizing.
So when women complain about the other woman, always remember it's because there's a woman that wants a fucking man and she'll steal your man. If you slip up, if you whatever, there's somebody waiting for your man.
What's going on, and I'm too afraid to say something because I don't want to scare him off. But I end up scaring him off because I'm acting weird because he's acting weird. That's happened a couple of times. So in this situation, I like that guy. I was really only interested in him. He was always with his girlfriend and very much like a good man and stuff. And I was never a homewrecker. I never like was in there trying to talk to him or anything like that. I just used to be around, and you can say it was pathetic because it was, but I used to just be around, and in my mind I was like, I'm just gonna be here, I'm gonna be cool, and I'm gonna be clearly a fucking pick-me because what the fuck else could I have been doing? That's not the first time that
Looking for somebody that wasn't oh yeah, I forgot you fell for him. Yous really think yous have a choice? Yous have a choice, I mean, but what I mean is limiting things. You're not going to the man most of yous are gonna end up with. He's not gonna have something you want, and that's it. And that's it. You know why? Because he's not getting something he wants, and he has you too. Yous don't look at it like that though.
happened either. That's not the last time that happened either. But I said I was gonna make a video about being a pick-me because I did it a lot. I did it a whole lot. Anyway, but yeah, so I was just around, and what ended up happening was one day he just started messaging me and contacting me out of the blue, wanting to hang out and like coming over, and we would hang out, and I didn't know what was going on.
He knew you liked him, so he wanted to smash.
I was like, did he break up with his girlfriend? I was like, what if him and his girlfriend aren't broken up, but they're like in a weird place? Or what if they're on a break? And I was so afraid to say anything to him because I thought that he was just not, I don't know. But I didn't say anything. What ended up happening was because we never talked about what we were, we ended up going to a party together. I danced with another guy at that party, and this guy that I had waited for a year for never talked to me again. And that's exactly what happened. Prior to that,
You were an idiot. You tried to play the little girl games of, I waited for this nigga for a year. I finally get to go on a fucking date with him, and I'm gonna go and dance with another man. I'm not gonna act like I'm on this nigga's dick so hard I'm waiting for him to break up with his girl. And the moment I get my chance, I'm not gonna be only around him. Yous are so dumb because you're used to playing games. You think playing games is gonna win. You're not 25. You're not young no more. Men grew up, and it doesn't even matter if they didn't grow up. You don't have these options to play. You really don't. Your time's running out. Remember, she said she wants kids.
I had a crush on a guy for a very long time, for 10 years.
Jesus
I dated
Christ.
other guys in that span. I was a pick-me for another guy. So pretty much that's a lot of my background and what happened. So you might be wondering, how did that turn into me being single for 4 years? Does that mean like I wasn't going on dates or I wasn't active on the apps? So 2 of those years are kind of hard for me to count because I had COVID. So 2 things happened when I had COVID. First off, I gained a lot of weight from being sick. So currently I am 30 pounds down from the highest weight that I was when I had COVID. So I've lost a lot of weight. I'm going to tell you right now, that did not matter. I've been heavier than that. I'm not saying it's not a factor. I personally have never experienced weight be a factor in attraction for me and another person. And I've been 175 pounds at my highest, and I've been 130 pounds at my lowest.
So women that are, that have weight on them, when a woman says this, I wonder why she doesn't have a problem. Maybe it's because the way she acts. Maybe it's because the way she dresses. You get it? Maybe those things make up for her the weight. I think men say things like that.
I've never seen it be an issue ever. Not to say that's not the case for other people. So my experience in real life is colored by a lot of things, because really what ultimately ended up happening was the type of guys that I used to be attracted to when I was younger started becoming attracted to me as I got older because I had grown into myself. Unfortunately, these men had not. I had done the work to grow as a person, and the men had not. But the guys that I used to be attracted to, I kind of realized sucked. I wasn't able to have robust conversations with them. I didn't have any chemistry with them. And I think it's funny because a lot of the reason why I grew so much as a person.
Why do you think fucking long-lasting relationships are fucking romance movies? Oh yeah, because you watch more romance shit that's not real than talking to fucking people that have been married for real. You don't even know how to get information to even see if you like. You don't even get it. You'll go watch a fake ass movie and base that off reality and think men are supposed to be like that, even though it's an hour. Even though they show you they skip through scenes, they fade out years later. That means they're skipping fights in the boring days, motherfucker. That don't mean every day was like the last scene and it was all good. And you just don't use or not looking at real life like real life.
Was not because I wanted to. I'm gonna tell you something about me. I really like that a lot of people really seem to like my personality and they think that I'm very relatable. And I'm gonna tell you this, bitch. It's not because I wanted to be. It's because I had to be. If you saw my videos before, you know that I was very lonely. I had no friends. And now you know that I was unchosen. I was not chosen by anyone. I'm just gonna say it was like this. When
I know what that feels like.
I liked them, they didn't like me. When they liked me, I didn't like them. And it's just as simple as that. I'm trying to like preemptively respond to things that I know I'm gonna get in the comments. Like people are gonna say, oh, your standards must be too high,
No.
or there must be something wrong with you,
No.
or you must be lying, or
No.
something like that. My standards are average for what they probably should be. For a long time,
Sounds
I thought
like
my
it.
standards were too high. And you know why I thought my standards.
I didn't hear her say 6 figures this and 6 she's naming bartenders for jobs for these men and shit. So I think these are some realistic standards. I believe it's hard to find certain people when you've lived a certain way, and to be understood. That means there's somebody that may have went through what you went through, but the way you want them, you don't get to say they're a fucking billionaire. You don't get to say whatever that is. When you meet this person and you don't accept them for whatever, and you say, damn, I don't understand. I had good conversations and everything, and then something didn't work. Well, it's because the thing that you didn't, you know, it's these little things. We think we get a billion chances with the people that are like us. We think that we find one good boyfriend and one good girlfriend, and we're gonna find another one like that but better. No, sometimes then you never find that fucking person again. You blew it. Now you gotta go. You better figure it out. What else you like about people? Cause that shit ain't coming back. You know. And if it does, it's not gonna be the way. That's why you gotta put that person out their head and understand you like certain things about that person, and you're looking for things that you did, not that person. Like how she's saying deep conversations and certain things she's not, But how many people want to do that? Women don't understand. As soon as you say money, 6 feet, 6 inches, deep conversations, you eliminated majority of men on the fucking planet. And the ones that are going to have these deep conversations don't have the money. The ones that have the money don't have the deep conversations. So you're going to have to give up one of the two. Or hit the lottery. You're going to have to, So it's like, I don't know what to tell you. I hope many of you black women good luck. I hope many of you other women of other nations good luck, cause this is going on everywhere. So we all gonna have to do a lot of growing up fast and settling and stop biting the bullet, or start biting the bullet.